baby. Check, baby. 1, 2. Oh, there we go. Loud in my head. Hello, good morning. Oh, hello, good morning to all of you out there in Radio Land. We are in the building. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting bigger. Do you find me gaining weight? Do you find me to be a little bit more plump?
No.
A little bit more solid?
No.
My arms seem, swole.
Robust.
Let me see. Oh, they look kind of like muscles, though. I'm gonna poop. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I am going through my personal summer, so I am naked today. However, good morning.
No, I don't. Be like 80 degrees today.
Is it? Because by the time I stepped out of my house, I have been sweating profusely. I took a walk around the block with the dog. I came back, I was soaking wet. I had to take off all my clothes, sit down, cool off, and then reapply them.
And then, as I was driving in today, I was like, is today going to be hot? Because people is dressed for summer.
It's summer.
Today.
It's so weird for us in the morning because it's like the weather ain't weathering the way
it ain't weathered yet.
Yeah, it hasn't found its place in society. We just be here.
This is a looking waste around. Of my money this morning.
It looked tick.
It's so.
What? Tell me. Well, anyways, it is Friday. It is F Word Friday, and we are in the building. Mike Knight says it is Find Your Way Friday. Yes, find your way into where you supposed to be.
Be at where you supposed to be at.
Yeah.
For the parents, it's fix your face.
Fix your face.
Oh my God.
Put your coat on.
I had to do military style punishment on the boy this morning. Because the boy asked me, remember yesterday we were walking, he asked me for the chicken fingers.
You've actually been doing a lot of different creative punishments these days.
He asked me for the chicken fingers and then decided that he was not going to eat them. Guess what he had for breakfast?
Chicken finger.
Chicken fingers. And I said, you eat that whole chicken finger.
He lucky it wasn't a chicken foot.
Right. You eat that whole thing because you asked me for it.
Yep.
You eat that whole thing before you go to school. That's why I was late. I sat outside of the school. You're going to eat it. You're going to eat that chicken finger.
Eat the chicken. No, May.
Right. Eat it. And he sat there and take a bite. Eat it. Swallow it. Swallow it. I left him. He had one little bite left. And I said, all right, you can throw that away. But you're going to learn to stop wasting my money. And then he goes, what am I going to have for lunch today? I don't know.
Then he'd be stingy because if he was around Sparkle, then he could just give it to Sparkle.
Exactly.
He don't be one giving no Sparkle chicken.
He don't want to share with Sparkle. And that's the problem. So guess what? If you going to waste my money and not even let anything else eat it, anybody else, because Sparkle is a person.
That would be smart.
Right.
Yes, Mommy, I'll eat rice and meat. Give it to me. Look, I ate it all.
Exactly.
The children don't think like they did
back in the day. That's what the kids used to do back in the day.
Mm-hmm. I don't like broccoli. Here.
You remind me of something. Here we go. We're going to play something. Make people laugh this morning. Just listen. Here we go. Hold on.
We want to listen. God damn it.
Y'all remind me of something. Here we go.
You walking down. Baby, you on the banana.
Why so low?
Look up on the damn fritter. Them damn bananas been up there about 8 months. They all brown and stuff. When you peel it, it be banana pudding. You sit up here just crying.
Yeah, I need that money.
Man, you shouldn't have asked for it.
Eat that damn banana.
It's true. The children, I want brothers. I don't care what you want. I don't have brothers. Well, we got to all eat. You can't get your own individual plate of food. Everybody got to eat. We got to get something over family to eat.
At least with CK, the food is going to get dogged. You ain't never going to waste your money with that little boy. CK will eat things that he's allergic to because he likes to eat. That boy is going to eat. That's what I told Noah. I said, me and CK going to start going on dates because me and CK is foodies.
He's expensive.
We're going to go sit down. Well, at least I wouldn't be wasting money.
That's true. That is very
me
true.
Me and CK going to go sit down. Well, I want to go to the dinner. You can't go. Because where we go when they don't serve chicken fingers. They got rice and beans and other things, but not that. So that's what I had to do yesterday. I was
have to start threatening them with chicken foot for real.
No, seriously. Honestly, my friend, shout out to my friend Jay, because he is a single parent to 3 children, and he be advising me on how to deal with this little boy, because I can't. I can't. But anyhow.
How's your evening?
My evening was good. I of course had to do homework because I'm in 3rd grade.
But you did a nice thing.
Yes, we did. We did a very nice thing. So he had to do his project on drugs. So he did allergy medicine because his allergies have been bothering him a lot. So we made a big. The board was a oversized Zyrtec bottle.
First of all, why the children learning about drugs in school?
They learning about because it's an event at school and the point of the project is to learn how God helps you to heal your body when you're not feeling well.
Shouldn't they be teaching them some wilderness? Drink water, rub a little ginseng on your
It's
chest.
2025.
That's not the West Indians we grew up with. They grew up.
They
showed
need
us how
ginger
to,
and ginger ale. I don't know what that
Honey,
project was because
lime.
that's giving them an insight into how drugs work and how they can abuse them. It's a gateway class.
I was raised on honey, lime, baking soda.
Exactly.
Ginger.
That's what they should have been teaching them about penicillin and
This
mushrooms.
little boy won't drink no tea either. He gonna drink some tea tomorrow though. Tired of
Make
him.
him drink some tea. God damn it.
But anyhow, so that was my evening, and then what did I have for dinner? I don't know.
What about you, Tristan?
I don't know. I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I chilled. Yesterday was a chill day. I just chilled, relaxed, and that was it.
Oh, I tell you.
How about you?
I stayed here, like you mentioned. I didn't even realize how long I was here. I stayed here for very long yesterday trying to do work. And I always just feel unproductive even when I am productive because you want to know why? I was being so unproductive that just a little bit of productivity don't seem like I did a lot. Because I got so many more things to do. But that's all right. That's all right. Our interns left us. We have no interns right now. They all left us for the end of the year. So we are now hiring and or accepting. We are now accepting more interns. So if you have a young child, or not a young child, a child between the age of, let's say, 15 to 23, and they are good and they don't necessarily need a job, you can send them here so they can work with us and learn skills in the radio and media industry. And we've also started a small t-shirt business.
Right.
I taught children t-shirt once and now I got a t-shirt business.
Oh well, that's good. They need to do something. We need to keep Nick off the street.
We gotta keep Nick off the street.
Yeah.
I'm a miss Nick. Y'all, if y'all see a little boy outside, his name is Nick. Just if you go into a loud crowd of friends, of people, just scream out Nick. One will emerge. Take him with
One
you,
will
please.
emerge.
One will emerge. That one, because he'll always answer.
Oh, man.
I love that boy.
I'm a
right
pop up
there.
at their prom.
Me too.
Oh, can I go to it? I want to go. When is prom season here?
It's now.
Oh, okay. We got to go to it.
Nick was trying to convince JC that he need to go to prom because it's lit in the after party, and I said, "This where you go to after party."
After party. I didn't know they had after party.
Is Dante going to the prom?
Dante, I don't know what
He's a
Dante
good
is.
kid.
He's a good kid. But yes, we are here and we're gonna get to all of the tea, all of the news, everything like that. I don't know because Boston got some tea going on, so we might have to just keep our same whatever
format.
Yeah, so let's just go there and see where we go. If we need to cut into some time so we can have some conversation time, and we'll have we won't even do scenarios today. We're gonna do real life scenarios.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
do the first one though because you've got inside
Okay.
view on that.
So before we get into that, today is May 17th, 9:36. What is it?
16.
Oh wow. Let's put how I make the numbers bigger on the computer, Tristan. The other day I had to go into my phone and make the words bigger.
Tris did that the other day.
And then I made them too big and I said,
Because I was like, who made these gigantic ass letters? Y'all is old.
I can't see, child. I cannot see. But anyhow,
Oh shit, that's too big.
no, that's good. Leave that. Leave it like that. Just
Oh,
leave it like
my
that.
Lord.
I can see good. It's one sentence per page.
What size is that?
19.
Let me mine at 16 because I don't know what y'all doing over there.
16 is good.
Okay.
The show starts now. Let's start the show.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Call Spark 617-272-3387.
What is this, Doctor?
This is
Well, Spark of New England, Spark FM.
Bringing the heat back to the airwaves.
Turn us up.
all right.
Let's take a look.
When I'm sharing the show, I got to make sure that I look around and see what everybody's wearing, so I'm sharing the right show. It's like, oh wait, what she got? Oh, that's not today. I don't have that on. It's F Word Friday, and we are in the building. Today is Friday, May the 16th. It is 9:37 a.m. in the morning. And let's get into the weather. The weather's kind of weird. Oh, damn. Currently, it's 70 degrees. It's supposed to reach a high of 79 degrees, so it's going to be a scorch.
I got to go change my clothes.
Me too. I got to go
said
put
too. I got
on
to
shorts.
Right.
Because I looked at a pair of shorts today. I looked at them and I said, it's not there yet.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
a big 80 degrees. So it's going to hit about 80 degrees around 3 o'clock. So like that 2 to 5 o'clock hour is going to be our peak heat. Currently it's 70 degrees. Tonight is going to drop down to about 63, which is a little warmer on the nighttime side. However, tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, we have a 55% chance of rain on Saturday and a 40% chance of rain on Sunday. So it should be a little moist weekend. Moist. Air quality index is 39, which is similar to yesterday about this time. I don't know what that means. And yeah, it feels warmer than the actual temperature. So it feels like 71 right now. What y'all else want to know? I know when the next moonrise is.
Ain't it tonight?
Sunrise tomorrow is at 5:21 a.m. and use sun protection until 5 p.m. they say. So this is your full weather report,
Nice.
and that is brought to you by Spark Weather and Friends.
The pollen levels are moderate today.
Oh, good. Yeah, we said that we're going to start doing that. The pollen levels are moderate. Take your Zyrtec, take your Flonase, take your albuterol. All of that. All right, let's get into it. So last night, while we were walking, because me and my sister have been doing our walks again. I hope that she keeps it up.
Me too. I hope she does too.
I hope she does too. Yesterday, I was listening to the first mayoral forum. This was done through I think the Democrats, somebody. Let me get into it. When longtime nonprofit leader John Kraft launched his campaign to unseat Boston Mayor Michelle Wu in February, the two candidates wasted no time before lobbing pointed criticisms at each other, with several heated exchanges playing out in recent weeks on social media or through press releases and media interviews. On Thursday night, which was last night, Wu and Kraft finally faced off in person, joined by two lesser-known mayoral candidates. Lesser known to, I don't know who's lesser known. Lesser known to y'all that's not in Boston prime. Domingos DeRosa, and completely new is Alex in his first candidate forum of this year's mayoral race. At the event hosted by 11 of the city's Democratic ward committees at Suffolk University Modern Theater, the four candidates answered questions from moderator and GBH news reporter Soraya Wintersmith. Soraya, I have to stop and give Soraya her flowers. She moderated that thing flawlessly yesterday. It was a pleasure to watch, and they should probably tap her in to host the next presidential debate because she was excellent.
Oh, wow.
On a range of policy issues, from fixing persistent problems in Boston public schools to making housing more affordable to mitigating the effects of climate change and traffic congestion in the city. For DeRosa and Alex, the forum was a key opportunity to take advantage of broad platform and introduce themselves and their visions for the city to voters. For Wu and Kraft, it was a chance to restate their pitches to voters, tout their individual accomplishments, and land swings in real time. So basically, they were there. I think that everybody did good. I summed it up per person. I felt that Mayor Wu behaved and was poised like a well-seasoned politician and mayor. Like, she was on point and she was very spicy for a couple of times. So, you know, like it was It was very interesting.
Okay, spicy.
You know, spicy. Josh Kraft, I feel like obviously he is her biggest contender, but I felt like Josh Kraft fell short on a couple of key things that he's not the mayor yet. So I think that he still has a lot of things to learn in getting into this role, and he hasn't been a traditional politician. So I think there's a lot of things that he can learn as he goes along this way, and people will help him with that. So I'm not counting him out. I think he's still a strong candidate, and he's her biggest opponent. But Domingos DeRosa, he's a I don't know. He is a community. He is community bred, born, lived. It's lived experience. It's the real deal. It's everything that we want. Mayoral refinement is what he needs. He needs to pull it all together and tighten up if he wants to really kind of contend with this. He's got to tighten up, and I say that with love and respect because I'm a fan of Domingos, but you got to tighten up when you're going up against those other two. Alex,
he's a little raw.
Raw. Yeah. Alex knew. So these candidates were all the candidates that got their paperwork, that got their signatures, that opened whatever bank account or CH, whatever they had to get or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And these are the four. There's other ones, but these are the four that are ready to go. These are four. Alex is new. He's 26-year-old boy. He lives in Dorchester, I believe.
Alex.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's the campaign, but I like it. Probably named like Alex Alexander or something like that. But I like it, right? And he was sharp. He knows his shit. He has great ideas. Refinement. Tightening up. That's what he's going to need in order to impress. Not, us aunties and stuff. Like, okay, go boy, I see you. I think in another 4 years, he's going to be a problem.
And at 26, he's got time.
Yeah, he's got a lot of time.
And he's making a name for himself.
We've seen a lot of young mayors. Usually they come from more, smaller areas and stuff like that. But this young boy, he's on it. So if Mayor Wu and Josh Kraft, I think that even if he doesn't win, Domingos and Alex are going to force them to do whatever they need to do for this city. So I don't know how it's gonna go, but it was very interesting. I don't remember all the things. Tristan, what's that little thing that you just found there?
Which one? This?
Yeah. Sparkstone Flashlight Forum made clear what early polling shows. The Boston mayoral race is Michelle Wu's to lose. It is. While the incumbent mayor didn't escape the first forum of the cycle, hearing some criticism of her record, the most effective argument against her were made by candidates who have yet to qualify for the ballot. Wu took the stage at a downtown Boston theater alongside three other mayoral candidates, and we went into them. He's 24, actually.
Oh, 24?
Yeah.
I mean, not that there's a big difference.
For the most part, during the 2-hour-long forum, candidates focused more on their own talking points than on landing blows on the competition, drawing on personal backstories and laying out plans to address everything from housing to education. That meant few memorable moments in the debate that could have done more to move the needle for Kraft, viewed as the front runner against Wu 4 months out from the preliminary election. Wu planted punches on Kraft. She did. This way she got a little spicy, criticizing his calls to trim the city's budget.
What did you say she called him at one point?
Mr. Halvesies.
Mr. what?
Halvesies. So at one point, Soraya had them questions, and a couple of them was just yes or no. And a couple of he turned his panel halfway and said, I'm really half because I want to explain why I feel like a part of this could work and a part of it needs reforms. So she referred to him as halvesies, that's where I was like, oh, she's coming out. So a debate between them is going to be excellent. It's going to be good TV. But what else? What was that other thing that you had again, Tristan? It sparked my memory. Wu and while he knocked the city's response to addiction crisis, that's long played the Massachusetts Avenue and Melnia Classic Boulevard, giving Wu an F on the issue. He acknowledged the solutions were easier said than done. She gave herself, what did she give herself? I think she gave herself a C. Alex gave her a C minus. And I don't remember what I think Domingos definitely give her an F. Domingos has been on the front lines of Mass and Cass for a long time.
Done a big change from Mass and Cass.
Well, I guess they're saying that she came through and swept all of them and then just sent them out, and now
They
they're
gave
all
her
over
a
the
C
place.
overall?
No,
Oh.
every individual had to give her
Oh, okay.
whatever. They
Okay.
talked about things like White Stadium. A lot of them, I mean, for the most part, the majority of them were okay with Blue Hill Ave.
Redesign.
Redesign. What else was it? Housing?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Housing. They talked about the budget. They talked about how we are going to get the children or the youth to get more excited about voting, because voting is very, very poor here, and that's really not democracy if only about 12% of people are voting. Kraft, who bought a condo, didn't really. Oh, so one of the questions that I think rocked Kraft and took him, defeated him a little bit, is they asked, "What ward are you in?"
He didn't know.
He didn't know. He said, "I'm embarrassed to say I didn't know." Alex didn't know either. Domingos knew everything about everything. And Mayor Michelle Wu, obviously as the mayor, knew hers as well. So that was a defeating point for Josh. And I think that even with a very kind of rocky start to the forum, that kind of defeated him. And I didn't like seeing that, because I want him to kind of, bounce back. So there was a lot of things, and this was just the first forum. There'll be many more. I think the next one is on May 25th, I believe, at some point. I forgot.
That's
Where
close.
is it? Yeah, it's very close, and we'll see. We'll continue to see these.
So interesting fact here. Kraft, who has previously lived in Chestnut Hill, recently purchased a home in the northern area for $2.35 million.
God damn.
I mean, he got him.
That's cheap for him.
Are we surprised by that? That's cheap. He got it. Well, where he supposed to live in? A $2,000 a month apartment?
He's supposed to live like the locals live. Damn it. He's supposed to go and get a nice apartment in the projects.
Do you know what ward and precinct you live in?
I do, but I don't remember right now. So I was disappointed in that question too. I think I'm Ward 7 or 9. I think Carlos told me once.
Carlos did tell us.
Boston Ward. So this is our exercise for today. Wards and precincts. Okay, here we go. Tristan, once I get it, I'll put it in the whatchamacallit. So do we not have internet in this place?
It's moving real slow, right?
You're right. Okay, no, it's just me. Because I don't know what to do here.
Oh, am I in Ward 17?
Yes. Oh, I'm with Domingos. I'm 19 precinct 17.
You cheated.
Let me see. Where am I? So, let me see where y'all live at. Y'all live in Hyde Park is Ward 18. Jamaica Plain, Mission Hill is Ward 4, 10, 11, 12, and 19. North, what the hell is North Dorchester?
I don't know.
Which way is North?
14, right? Look, right here. You got this map.
Let me see here. Is you sharing it with the
15.
people? Share it with the people, Tristan.
15 is Dorchester.
15 is Dorchester. Am I South or North Dorchester? Mattapan is 14, 17, or 18. Roslindale is 18, 19, and 20. Roxburgh is 8, 19, 14, and 17. Y'all got to figure out where y'all at. And South
Why
Boston
can't you just
is
put
6
in
and
your
7.
put in your address and it tells you
I think you do. I think you do, sis.
I don't. I literally Googled what ward and precinct is my address. My address and it is
It
giving
didn't
me all this
tell
other
you
stuff.
one. How
Go on
do
the map.
I find out my ward and district in Boston? Mass rods, city of wards and precincts. I don't know, but we'll figure that out. That's not important to us right now. But that was the first mayoral forum. Your homework for this weekend is to go find out what ward and precinct you are in and go from there. Man, I'm mad I missed that question when I knew it. That was the cheat code. Domingos live right behind my house. God damn it. And let's keep on going to these stories. Oh, it's your go.
Oh, me. It's my turn. Northeastern college student demanded her tuition fees back after catching her professor using OpenAI's ChatGPT.
She's a friggin' hater.
A senior at Northeastern University filed a formal complaint and demanded a tuition refund after discovering her professor was secretly using AI tools to generate notes. The professor later admitted to using several AI platforms and acknowledges the need for transparency. The incident highlights growing student concerns over professors using AI, a reversal of earlier concerns from professors worried that students would use the technology to cheat.
I mean, and so what? Let me not say so what. That's not okay.
You know what? I don't know. I think somebody said it best when they were just like, we have to keep up with the times of what is going on, right? And we are at the times where these things are being used to do whatever. Yesterday when Noah was doing his report, people were like, did you do that? And I'm like, no, he did it. He went to Google. He pressed the little microphone and he asked Google a question and it popped up whatever. We also picked up his prescription for Zyrtec yesterday, so he used a little insert from Walgreens. But I'm like, no, he did it, and then he copied and pasted onto the page and whatever. He did his thing. And it's just like, we got to keep up to the times. AI is there. It was developed as a tool for people to take advantage of. And listen, we got to take advantage of it. Are we going to be stupider? Yes.
Are we going to be stupider? Yes. Or are we just going to be efficient?
No, we're going to be stupider. We don't have to do anything anymore. We don't have to research anything anymore. We don't have to do it. All you have to do is ask the computer a question, and it will do it all for you. We don't have to do any research. We don't have to do anything.
So here we go.
And you know what is the problem is that a lot of people are not using it still, and they're dumb.
I'm about to go back to college, get my doctorate.
We gotta listen.
Not the doctorate. Let's go.
To the story.
That a student at Northeastern University filed a complaint against her professor because the professor said you may not use ChatGPT in any class. You're going to be in big trouble if you do. And then she caught the professor in all kinds of uses of ChatGPT in the professor's own notes, the professor's own presentations and everything else. So she's demanding a refund.
I bet this happens a lot, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
I think this happens a lot. That's my completely, totally random, just guessing about how the world works.
Terrible. I don't see what the problem is.
The problem was that he told them that they can't use ChatGPT for their notes.
But he's a professor.
Right, so he shouldn't have told them that.
Yeah, he shouldn't have told them that.
I mean, the professor can't use it, and the professor ain't getting graded. He's grading the students.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't the professor teaching the students the things and just not... See, for me, AI is so interesting to me because in one hand, it is what you said. We're probably going to get stupider, but we'll have the correct information more easily accessible. So I might be stupid, but if I use ChatGPT, I can get smart very quick, or at least sound smart as long as I can read, right? Yeah. And I think that in this situation, if I'm still teaching you the work and it's still benefiting you in a way, I mean, you could go to ChatGPT yourself and learn it yourself, but will you learn that way, or are you paying to learn here? I mean, I don't know if you could get a refund for still learning.
Yeah.
So I don't know. As long as you don't use ChatGPT and you're applying the lessons in which I taught and they are right, then I don't understand what the problem is. I don't got time to be doing what y'all want.
She want her money back because she said
she ain't gonna get it back, girl.
Yeah.
Shit.
What else do we have up in here? Two Boston employees arrested on domestic violence charges. What? What does Boston employees mean? So what?
There was one from the city, and I think they was fighting.
In Boston, working in Boston.
These are city employees.
Two Boston City Hall employees were arrested early Thursday morning on domestic violence charges. Marwa Kud de Nazar.
Here we go. Go ahead, Tristan.
Okay, here we go. Here goes de Copiando.
And that is where two City Hall employees were arrested this morning on domestic violence charges. Thanks for staying up with us, everyone. I'm Colton Bradford.
And I'm Priscilla Casper. We do want to get right out to our Michael Rosenfield. He's joining us live in Boston with more on what happened and the charges they're facing. Michael.
Well, Priscilla, tonight both staffers are off the job here at City Hall. According to these court documents, they got into a fight this morning. It escalated from there. It happened at an apartment in Chinatown. Two Boston City Hall workers arrested after getting into an altercation inside an apartment early Thursday morning. According to court records, Marwa Kudenazar called 911 just after 2 a.m. When officers got to the apartment, they say the woman was yelling, "Please let me go," to her boyfriend, Chulan Wong. Officers say Wong was shirtless and had multiple bite marks on his chest and arms.
Oh, damn.
The couple had accused each other of cheating, and he allegedly held on to her wrists and wouldn't let go while she was biting him in self-defense.
I know both of these team members, and sounds like there's some difficult situations playing out. City workers, all of our public servants are held to very high standards, and as we should be.
Wong was arrested and charged with assault
like,
and
not right
battery.
now.
I know what I'm going through
Kudenazar,
right
who
now.
was slurring her words, according to court records, said she was lying and, quote, "We both work for the city of Boston. We both work for the mayor's office."
Why y'all say that for?
She then allegedly blocked the door, preventing an officer from leaving the apartment, pushed his hand, and began to strike the officer on the chest and started yelling expletives.
F and
She was
B,
then
F
arrested for
yourself.
assault
Go
and
F
battery on
yourself.
a police
F and
officer.
C.
The allegations are incredibly disturbing, and so it is never okay to harm a police officer or to harm another member of our community.
As the woman was brought outside, Wong allegedly shouted from the back of the cruiser, "We both work for the city. This is unnecessary." According to the city's website, Wong works in the Economic Operations and Inclusion Office, while Kudenazar is Chief of Staff at the Office of Police Accountability.
It is a privilege to be able to serve the public, and we are all also human beings.
I tell you, everybody lost their mind. I blame Donald Trump because
What's the name of the office? Police Accountability?
She's the chief of staff of police accountability and is arrested for police brutality.
She's 12 and a half years old. How she get such a big title and role?
You got to get the job.
And this is more fuel for Josh Kraft, because he already say that she got inexperienced people inside the mayor's office.
It's not based on meritocracy. It's based on who can bite. Yo, you biting each other, and then you getting arrested, and the thing that you go after you call the police all kind of punk B and C and CUNs and all kinds of stuff. You gonna shout out from the back of the squad car, "This is unnecessary. I work for the city." I would have been like, "Oh, I work at the local Dunkin' Donuts."
Why you announcing?
Why you gotta say where you work at? What's that got to do with what?
Because she's probably drunk and belligerent. But that's, girl, you gonna jeopardize your job?
What do you call it? That is
Foolish.
what, privilege.
Jackassery.
That is Asian privilege.
Oh, and it's AAPI month. Or whatever.
It is mental health awareness, people.
It's AAPI, Asian and Pacific Islanders, Asians and
And you know what?
What the AAPI stand for?
I don't know.
Asian.
Pacific
All
Islanders.
Asians and Pacific Islanders.
It's not all. It's Friday, people. Y'all leave us alone. Okay, it's been a long week. We're gonna have a good
what
time
does
today.
AAPI stand for?
Is it that?
It's something Asians and Pacific Islanders. And it's there. It's
all right. It's Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month from May 1st to May 31st, and that's a damn shame.
Y'all gonna be acting up like that in Chinatown?
On your mouth, on your month. If it happened to Black History, but like, no, not Black History Month. I hope the Asians all over the way is like, I cannot believe they out here embarrassing us on our month. Hold them accountable.
Hold them,
community.
Hold them. Shoot,
fighting and acting all crazy.
City Hall employees be getting bucked. Boy, I tell you, Boston cop ordered to surrender her service gun at the end of her shifts, while other cop sues her over SWAT call.
Boston police, the city of Boston is acting the F up.
I'm saying a Suffolk Superior Court judge has ordered a Boston cop who works in District E13 in Jamaica Plain to surrender any personal guns and to leave her department-issued gun in a secure location somewhere at BPD when she leaves work for the day, as other Boston cop pursues a lawsuit against her in the city for an alleged false emergency call to 911 that sent officers rushing to the cop's home. That's one long-ass sentence. That's crazy. But that whole sentence is the paragraph. But while Judge James Boudreau agreed that Officer Malika McQuaid has legitimate concerns about her and her family's safety, Saucy. He rejected her request to declare E13 officer Mariana Avila unfit or dangerous to possess a gun at all, even while on the job. So this is 2 female police officers against each other.
Wow.
The BPD is uniquely...
The police department needs some reform.
Yeah, shoot. The BPD is uniquely situated to evaluate the fitness of an officer to carry a firearm during duty and has averred they are investigating the allegations by McQuaid. Boudreaux wrote in his ruling dated May 9th, but only posted to the case's online docket this week. Still, Boudreaux said ordered Avila to stay at least 1,000 feet away from McQuaid's home and at least 100 feet from McQuaid herself and her family at all times. Also, if she needs to travel through Roslindale while working as a cop, she can only do so while in the presence of another Boston cop, the judge ruled.
That sounds crazy.
What?
Yeah. I can't I can't drive through.
I can't do my job?
Because we got beef?
Yeah, because you got beef with me because she's like, I don't even know that girl. And I can't take my gun when I go home at night because this other, what if she come shoot me? What's up with that?
Shit.
When you got a restraining order against somebody and you can't go within 100 feet of them,
it's a personal
can they
gun.
come within 100 feet of you?
So no, yes,
Yeah.
but like you can't show up because you know they did.
Yeah.
You don't want them to be there. So I guess if you already have, I'm making this up. I'm assuming, logically speaking, if you know that you have a restraining order against someone and you go to where that person is, I feel like you're in violation of that restraining order yourself, because if you try to be away from them, why the hell you going towards
them? So the restraining orders should go both ways.
It should technically go both ways.
Oh, okay.
In order for it to work, it would have to go both ways.
Because remember that time we was watching that video where the baby mama showed up at the birthday party that the baby daddy was having for the little girl?
Yeah.
And then she called the police on him?
Yeah. Did he get arrested?
And said that he was in the violation of the restraining order.
Did she get arrested?
There was some foolishness, but it was a deal.
I don't know. Does anybody know?
I don't know.
Keep reading.
McQuaid sued both Avila and the city last month after a March 23rd incident in which somebody claiming to be a friend of McQuaid's named Sandy called 911 to report that McQuaid was suffering from a postpartum suicidal thoughts and had guns in her house. Sandy did not mention that McQuaid was herself a cop.
What?
I don't get it. Well, E5 cops, including a patrol supervisor, were dispatched, but roughly 20 minutes later, the supervisor radioed from the house that the family is all set and okay, and asked the dispatcher, "We have the name and telephone number from the 911 call preserved, right?" He added, "The person here believes somebody is pranking or something, but to be further investigated." In her suit, McQuaid said she listened to the 911 call the next day and immediately recognized the caller as Avila. She charges Avila has had it out for her for more than 5 years, in large part because McQuaid, who was black, married a fellow officer who was white, and she cited an incident in which Avila was suspended for several days or filing what turned out to be a false complaints against a daycare operator in Jamaica Plain and posting them on her Facebook page. What is happening in this story?
I don't know. Move around, because that sounds crazy. I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
So
either.
it sounds like one cop was prank calling another cop.
She prank called the police and said that McQuaid was having suicidal thoughts, and then she's mad at her because she married a white man.
She was trying to get her fired.
And then she also filed a claim against a daycare. What is it? How does A and B get to C? I don't understand. I don't know. Following a May 6th hearing attended by both McQuaid and the city lawyers, but not Avila, who also did not file a written response to McQuaid's request for a preliminary injunction, ruled that McQuaid made a strong enough case that she should ultimately prevail in her suit, that her preliminary injunction request warranted at least some action.
So who's the aggressor here? Aquila or McQuaid?
Avila.
Avila is the aggressor. Against Avila, and Avila cannot take her gun and stuff because McQuaid thinks that Avila is obsessed with her because she married a white man.
But that's what it sounds like,
right? What is the white man that she used to date?
I'm gonna go with your theory because this sounds like foolishness, and City of Boston is acting up. Mayor Wu need to drop the hammer on her administration.
Drop the hammer on.
Well, that's a cop. I don't know if that's so much.
She need to sit down in the office and moderate.
Yeah. She ain't got time for that.
She don't got time for that, but then let me do it. That could be a job that I do. I want to hear everybody's tea. And I'm going to make the decision on whether y'all get to restraining order or not. And there should be an office of civil decision. And I would be the chief of it.
Everybody want to be.
I'm gonna send an email to her right now. Dear Mayor Wu, can you open up a new office of civil decision making, led by me?
And I would be the chief.
And I would chat GPT my whole entire role and submit it to Harvard.
Good night. Boston City Councilor. Harvard ain't got no money. Boston City Councilor says school bus driver in deadly Hyde Park crash didn't follow protocols.
Duh.
Right.
Friggin' duh.
The news has worked to get answers from the city, Boston Police, and Boston Public Schools since late April after 5-year-old Lenz Arthur Joseph was hit and killed by a school bus on Washington Street in Hyde Park. Boston Police Schools identified the bus driver as Jean Charles. Charles had an expired school bus certification at the time of the crash and resigned on Wednesday ahead of scheduled termination. He had an expired school bus certification and he was driving people's children. City of Boston. In a statement, a Boston Public Schools spokesperson said the death of a child is a horrible tragedy that no family should have to endure. In the hours immediately after the tragedy, BPS Transportation and TransDev worked with the law enforcement on scene, and TransDev immediately placed the driver on leave. Over the past 2 weeks, the BPS Transportation has gathered information on the events of April 28th and begun implementing an ongoing after-action review in response. On May 14th, John Charles resigned from TransDev prior to his termination hearing. The city and BPS have also been working in the aftermath of this tragic incident to support the family of Lenz Joseph and the Up Academy Dorchester school community and to share accurate information with the public as quickly and thoughtfully as possible. This is an ongoing process and will be further informed by investigative conclusions released by the Suffolk District Attorney's Office and Boston Police Department. We mourn the death of Lenz Joseph and grieve with his family at this terrible time. The lawyer representing Joseph's family says there's an unimaginable loss and that amid their grief, they are dedicated to pursuing justice and are committed to making changes to relevant policies and procedures. Last week, the news met with Enrique Pepin to discuss his call to action for safety infrastructure in the Hyde Park neighborhood.
Audio.
School bus certificate.
Residents of Hyde Park are asking for change, and they're asking for something immediate.
Last week, I met with City Councilor Enrique Pepin to discuss his call to action for safety infrastructure in the Hyde Park neighborhood. After learning of the recent updates in this case, he tells Boston 25 News in a statement that reads in part, "It is gravely unfortunate that in this situation, this driver did not follow protocols and will live the rest of their life with the consequence on behalf of a young child." BPS says there's an ongoing investigation led by the Suffolk County DA's office and BPD. Mayor Wu ignored multiple requests for comment today, but did tell us last week in regards to safety improvements in that area.
For now, it doesn't look like those kinds of infrastructure improvements would have been the difference in this situation. But in general, the safety of our streets is on the minds of everyone who lives in our neighborhoods.
Poor Mary, she's probably so tired. Like, I got to comment on every one of these stories every time. I'm trying to run a campaign. Poor lady. But anyhow,
that must suck too, though. Running a campaign while also holding the position.
Yeah.
Because everything I do now, everybody's looking at me all day.
And they said here she ignored several requests. That's not true. The lady's busy. Stop it. Police seek help identifying suspects in a theft of $20,000 in sunglasses from a Boston store.
I saw this.
Where's that?
$20,000 of sunglasses. Police are turning to the public's help to help identify a group of suspected
You're not turning
thieves.
to the public's help for that. It's tariffs and we need sunglasses. So no.
A group of suspected thieves who allegedly swiped nearly $20,000 worth of sunglasses from a store in Boston on Wednesday. Officers responding to a report of a robbery at Sunglass Hut at 335 Newberry Street. Sunglass Hut got $20,000 worth of sunglasses. What, they wipe the shelves clean?
Bro,
You know them
Sunglass
glasses
Huts
like $300?
start at like $350.
Yeah.
I ain't never been to Sunglass Hut.
I used when I used to work at the Gap when I was 15. Sunglass Hut was expensive. expensive.
I've been to the sunglass stand, but I ain't never been
That
to
ain't
the
the same
sunglass. 41 pairs of glasses valued at $19,750 had been stolen from the store, according to the Boston Police Department. Investigators on Thursday released surveillance images of the suspects wanted in connection with the alleged thefts. Anyone who recognizes them, please call Crime Stoppers, and maybe they'll give you a pair of glasses as a reward. Look at that.
Boy, I tell you,
$19,000 worth of
that's
sunglasses.
when we go right over there to all of them nice Jamaican fetes, and they got on all of them big designer glasses and all kind of thing. There's boosting.
Where they at?
And I'm sorry, I'm telling on y'all because I know y'all ain't spending $500. Do people really actually spend their money on things like designer sunglasses in real life?
Child, listen, I don't know. I went to the little $8.99 store out there and rent them and got them little glasses with the butterfly on them. And everybody was like, oh, you got Gucci glasses. You got Gucci glasses. Oh,
yes, I do.
I thought it was just a butterfly. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know this is who it's supposed to be.
I just can't do it.
$8.99.
I feel like maybe if I'm rich, I would have a different frame of mind, but I can't imagine spending $526 on a pair of sunglasses.
Those are my good scamming days.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then because I lose sunglasses so much, I would have to have them tied on to me like the old people have the little string that are always hanging on me, because I would lose them. And if I lost $527,
You wouldn't lose them because those glasses feel completely different. You feel the weight.
No, seriously, you gonna know because when I lost my little $65 Michael Kors that I got at the Rentham outlets, I was very upset, and they was only $65.
But how did you lose them?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about like having them on and losing them. I'm talking about like you take them off because you at a party, you take them off real quick, turn around and get your drink, forget that you were supposed to put them on. Next thing you know, you outside of the club and you like, damn, my Gucci's. I would have to open the club back up. Hey, let me get in. And then as soon as you move, somebody snatch them away because everybody thief. And I don't know.
If I won $100,000, I would buy one pair of glasses that was under $200.
I would just go in the dollar store and buy the rack of glasses for $5. I'd have every glasses.
Lord.
Why wouldn't I have every
Give me all of them.
I'll take
just throw it in the bag.
You don't even gotta put it in the bag. Just give me the thing that is on because I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna buy that too.
What you do? You go natural? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening over there? You wearing waist beads and eating fresh fruits and stuff? What's happening? I want to know. Tell me about yourself today. Wagwan.
And
did you just do a post?
I just did a post the other day. Sorry, she's talking about my hairy ass underarms. You made me Ooh, you made me so hot. I'm gonna take my wig off and put it up because I'm tired, boy. I'm tired.
Woo! I said, "Oh, is I seeing what I see?"
Oh, Jesus,
anyhow.
Lord.
Live court video updates day 17 of witness testimony in the Karen Reed's real trial. And do we know what's going on? Triz is our expert on Karen Reed.
I haven't. I've been following
There's just, like we were saying this morning, there's just too much court going on right now. I can't do it.
On the stand right now is Andre Porto. He is the forensic scientist for the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab. I don't know what's been going on. This is Andre Porto and da-da-da-da-da and all kinds of things.
I just feel like we should just finish hearing about Karen Reed when they figure things out. You know? Like, just figure things out.
Let us know what the outcome is.
Let us know how that goes.
And then this feel-good story. There's a huge pond in Framingham when you can walk right through it. And this just looks neat. It's beautiful. Do you see that?
No.
Go to Heather and Becky right here so they can tell us about this.
You put on the AC, Tristan?
No, I shut it off.
Why?
The Shoppers World, one of the first shopping centers in the U.S., built in 1951. Ron Burton, the first player ever drafted for the New England.
A place of community and
own.
By 16.
Right in the center of the city is Farm Pond, with a long history of its own.
By 1684, Thomas Danforth acquired where we're standing right now, and he named this Farm Pond. In many ways, this has been a place of community and gathering for thousands of years.
Fast forward to 2025, and Framingham Pond Park is still a space where the community comes together.
26 acres here at Farm Pond, and over the years, we've been able to add a number of amenities.
With something for bocce lovers, runners, skaters, fishermen, and dogs too, the area is well utilized. But it's the ability for visitors to walk on water that makes this park so special.
This berm that we're standing on was actually an aqueduct that housed pipelines built in the 1800s to bring water all the way down.
That's cool. I'm gonna go there.
Me too.
I'm gonna walk through that water.
Are you?
Yeah. Where is this at?
Framingham.
Oh, let's go to it, guys.
Let's go frolic.
Yeah.
I plan to do a lot of frolicking this summer.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, frolic.
I know, and I decided I was like, I'm gonna do it by myself if nobody wants to frolic with me.
No, I mean, I have a dog. He likes to frolic.
He does love to frolic.
He does.
He was frolicking yesterday, and he was frolicking.
He just frolics.
Anyhow, that's the news for where we are.
And we'll be right back after a quick commercial break. We'll get into our national, and we gonna sit down with the entertainment. Okay?
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
You are now listening to Spark.
Each and every Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m. inside the Avenue, where you bring the drinks and we bring the vibe. My name is Gary Banton alongside my co-host Big Trini, right here in SparkFMOnline.com, the number one place for soca, hip-hop, R&B, and more. Each and every Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m. It's the Avenue.
Gourmet Creole is bringing vibrant Haitian flavors to Mattapan. Join their grand opening May 24th at 1210 Blue Hill Avenue. This woman-owned restaurant serves specials like plantain sandwiches, chicken in Creole sauce, and a fried pork so tender it will melt in your mouth. Discover delicious, affordable dishes that bring Haiti's rich traditions to life, with vegan, vegetarian, and halal options available. Now available on Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Check out the menu at Gourmet Creole.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Looking for a meaningful way to engage with your community and make a difference? Volunteer with the Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol Program and help prevent Medicare fraud. Visit masmp.org. This project is supported by a grant from the U.S. Administration for Community.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan.
Spark FM.
I know you nasty. She be touching on her own body.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna show me the way.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at SparkFMOnline.com. Turn us up. Spark FM.
I'm just running through these headlines because they're mostly about Donald Trump and what he's doing. Seattle judge rescinds order directing Trump administration to admit 12,000 refugees. He wants to submit them, or he's what?
The judge had at first ordered him to let them in. Now he's saying that you don't got to let them in.
Why not?
I don't know.
A judge on Thursday rescinded an order that would have required the Trump administration to admit some 12,000 refugees into the United States. U.S. District Judge Jamal Whitehead in Seattle issued the order earlier this month following instructions from a federal appeals court and said the government must process refugees who before January 20th already had arranged and confirmed travel plans to enter the U.S. That's the day President Donald Trump took office and suspended the nation's refugee admissions program. But last Friday, the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals clarified the order. Refugees should be admitted on a case-by-case basis if they could show they had relied on promises from the U.S. before January 20th, and they would be able to travel to America. As an example of who should be admitted, the appeals court noted the case of one plaintiff, a refugee from Democratic Republic of Congo, who sold his family's belongings and gave up the lease on their home because he, his wife, and their child was supposed to fly to the U.S. on January 22nd before the administration canceled their travel. In his order Thursday, Whitehead said the government should admit 160 refugees who had plans to come to the U.S. within 2 weeks of January 20th. The government must process, admit, and provide stationary mandated resettlement support services to these injunction-protected refugees immediately, he wrote. So where did he take it off? Upon beginning his second term on January,
he took off for the 1,200.
Oh, the 1,200, but he left the most vulnerable, I
Yeah,
guess, the ones who were already settled to come here. And then Trump, as we know, had admitted 54 white people that just wanted to come here for no reason because they didn't want to be in Africa anymore. So he has allowed them to come here and hang out in Missouri.
Yeah. Well, good. Keep them over there.
Yeah. Ain't the Mormon church, which church of it, the Latter-day Saints, some church was like, we're not doing it.
The Episcopals.
Yeah. It was like, nope, we're not doing that because that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
These people are not in no type of refugee or any what is it called?
Yep. Asylum.
Is it asylum? It's not asylum. It's
refugee. Yeah, asylum.
Genocide.
Oh.
They said that they were escaping genocide. They wasn't escaping
apartheid.
No,
I thought they was escaping apartheid.
No, they want apartheid.
Yeah,
Apartheid is over. So now they're saying that because they have to be forced to share things, that they are going through genocide and they're killing the farmers.
When I think about South Africa and apartheid and Nelson Mandela, I often think about the struggling white people that were persecuted.
It's so sad.
Yeah,
it makes me very sad.
So sad.
So
the
sad.
whites have had it so rough
Every time,
in this world.
and every time. Remember the lady was talking about yesterday with her discrimination for being white.
Yeah, discriminating against her being a white crackhead. It's awful.
It's not nice.
And they only get $600,000 for calling a 3-year-old black kid.
Yeah, only 600.
Only
600. That is so unfair.
Yeah, it's unfair.
RFK Jr. defends Trump's budget plan, addresses vaccine on Capitol Hill shit show. That man is an idiot.
If I were Donald Trump, I would want to distance myself from RFK.
But Donald Trump and RFK are of the same sound mind and other words that mean mentally not able.
Trump
You better use ChatGPT.
Yes.
Trump ain't distanced himself from nothing.
No, Trump loves the chaos, misery, and mess.
I think RFK is stupider than Trump.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's go to the clip.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in the hot seat, answering questions from lawmakers on Capitol Hill. Griff Jenkins has more on his reasons for the cuts at the Department of Health and Human Services.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. facing off with lawmakers for the first time since his confirmation hearings over his planned overhaul of the agency. Senator Patty Murray accused the Trump administration of delaying critical cancer care for one of her constituents named Natalie.
Natalie is sitting there waiting for treatment.
I'm offering to help her, but you don't care. You don't care about Natalie.
Kennedy later told the committee his staff found the woman was medically ineligible for treatment in a National Institutes of Health trial. He also defended widespread cuts at HHS, saying they have not impacted key health programs.
I compliment Secretary Kennedy and the Trump administration for finally saying enough's enough. We're not going to keep funding frivolous and crazy research.
Vaccines.
A good
From me. At one point, his Senate hearing was interrupted when the co-founder of Ben & Jerry's ice cream
Let's
had
go,
to
Ben
be
&
dragged
Jerry's.
out after joining protesters. Members of the
That's right,
audience
go
are
Ben
reminded
or
disruptions
Jerry,
will not
whichever
be
one you
permitted.
are.
Boy, I tell you,
You know he rolled the fat one before he went in there.
I love Ben and Jerry's. They are really social activists.
Yeah.
Because they are this RF Kennedy Jr. person. He's not one of the people that's mad protected. Somebody got to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
The views of hot sauce.
Y'all
should go in the way of his daddy. Damn.
Y'all got to do what y'all got to do to fix.
If I were the Kennedy family, I would tell him, you got to change your name.
Yeah.
You not like us.
No,
they
no,
told him that multiple times.
I feel like they should sue him and remove his name from him and give him a name like he could just be the politician formerly known as RFK.
Trump should just adopt him.
Yes, RF
Trump.
Robert F. Trump.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Military commanders will be told to send transgender troops to medical checks to oust them.
Yeah.
That's a violation of my actual privacy. You're gonna make me drop my drawers to confirm? Look,
That's crazy.
moving on. Minnesota.
But look who. What does it say? Read the first sentence of that thing.
You read it.
What? I can't. I don't have.
Military commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah. Commanders. That's triggered.
Yep.
May the Lord open. Minnesota governor says he's working to prepare for possible Trump pardons. Derek Chauvin, which is not going to happen. So Tim Wall.
Yep, our good guy.
Our good Tim. So there is a lot of noise from a Republican and Marjorie Taylor. No, now she just jumped on the stupid bandwagon. Again, somebody needs to figure out how to do what they got to do with her too.
Yeah.
Like she's got to go.
She's got to be done away with.
I'm not saying she got to get killed. I'm saying that a kidnapped and placed in a deserted island.
I mean, because I be watching Jack Ryan, right?
Yeah.
And they went to Mexico to go visit, and the good senator that he was traveling with didn't make it back.
Yeah.
Why did? Well,
The views of hot sauce and Miss Tony are not reflected.
We are not, but Javi, we're not even saying nothing.
Yeah.
We just saying what we seen in the movies.
Yeah.
And I just said I don't want her to die. I just said that I want her to disappear.
I mean, you guys not
like vanish into the air.
Not literally dead, but politically, a lot of these Republicans might be politically dead by the midterm.
You know, I don't trust them. I don't trust America.
I don't
blame you.
I do not trust America to do what it needs to be do in the midterms. I do not trust America. America got to prove to me that it wants change before I trust America. I'm not doing it.
You don't think America?
Nope.
No.
Right. Nope. Because America voted for Donald Trump.
More voters. More people that voted for not Trump.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't believe
enough people are not coming outside to not vote for Trump. That's what I'm saying. And not vote for Republicans.
Yeah.
The Republican people are going to rally up their psychopathic fan base and they're going to say we all got to get to the poll because they're trying to take us down, and they'll recruit all of their people and they'll come outside in droves.
That sounds more like a Democrat problem than a Republican problem.
It is a Democrat
because
problem.
Republicans will rally, no matter how bad a candidate is. When it comes down to the nitty gritty, they're gonna rally behind that person.
They sure are.
Democrats hate Democrats.
Democrats hate unity.
Well, I don't think it's that. I think that is the fact that white folks don't want to. Well, in this last race, white folks didn't want to vote for the black lady, so they just sat home. All 10 million of them.
Yeah.
I hate Republicans have become, because before it was just like there was Democrat, Republican, we had opposing views, maybe we saw things just a little bit differently. Now it's become like the Republican, when you hear Republicans, it's associated with so many things that are just negative. It's just white people, and that's really just awful. I don't think that's what every Republican is. But that's become the umbrella that they all fall under now. And I think that's awful.
I mean, I don't think it's now. I think a lot of people would say oh, you Democrats didn't start hating Trump till he ran for president, for instance, right?
No.
And that's not true, right? People
Right,
don't realize, like, the Republican Party's been going slowly crazy since Obama got elected.
Yep.
Like
Yep,
the birther in chief, the Tea Party. You remember the little old lady? I don't know if anybody remembers this, but like when McCain was running for president and he was doing a town hall, this little old white lady was like, I don't trust Obama because he's an Arab, right? And then you can see McCain's face at that moment, like, yo, we created a monster.
Yeah.
He's like, no, he's a good gentleman, he's a good man, blah, but at the same time, he had Palin as his vice presidential
Oh God, and she's deplorable.
I mean, I think the Republicans have always kind of depended on like race to hold on to power artificially, and then when we got a black president,
White per.
the country literally lost its mind, and it's just been going downhill from there.
They was like, we got to make change. We got to figure out the long term.
It's like Frankenstein's monster. Like Frankenstein created a monster and then they killed him. Like Trump is Frankenstein's monster. They didn't want him to win that first primary. The Republicans did everything they could to beat him in that first primary,
But then
but
why
they
are
created a monster.
Why are they standing behind him so much now?
Because he's
'Cause they're
pushing their
based.
agenda.
Yeah.
I think he's a puppet and he's just doing what they're telling him to do. But he also is charismatic in the way that he can gain the people's trust because he's such a boob.
Yeah. And Republican and the Republicans that are in a lot of the Republicans that are in offices, particularly the House, like they're bought in. Like Hot Sauce said, they're bought into his agenda. But also they're afraid of their base. Like if you talk to a MAGA Republican, it's like talking to somebody in a cult. Like I really truly feel like some Republicans in some of these deep red states are afraid that if they say something bad about Trump, they're gonna come home and their house is burnt down.
What's the guy's name that was on The View yesterday? I forget his name, but pretty popular Democratic politician. And he was saying there is a for sale sign on the White House lawn. Yeah. Like we have to understand that is all. It is all being bought. And what is his name? No.
I wasn't watching.
I believe it. Let's keep on going. Sorry. New York prison guard says he cleaned the blood of fatally beaten inmate in a plea deal. I'm not going to get into that because that's kind of heavy for Friday. Hospital tells families brain dead Georgia woman must carry fetus to birth because of abortion ban.
Oh, no.
So there's this lady literally brain dead. She is brain dead, but she was pregnant before she went in about 9 weeks. She's at 21 weeks now. They're saying the baby might have all kinds of complications and stuff like that. Their medical bills are racking up. They can't pay it. They're pleading for some help to let their daughter go. But they're incubating her baby in there because of an abortion law. So this baby's going to be born, number one, without a mother, and the burden of everything that baby comes with because of the mother's choice to have that baby when she was there now is resting on the family,
and the baby's not going to be healthy,
and the baby has a high chance of not being healthy, might not walk, might have some brain issues, all kinds of stuff, and they will not let them abort the baby. So that is what's going on in America. And a video shows Florida police stopping smuggling operation. We're not going to get into that because we're going to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll get into the entertainment. We'll be talking Diddy. We'll be talking DDG. We'll be talking Tory Lanez.
There's more Tory Lanez.
Chris Brown. We'll be talking everything. All right, let's go.
Bye.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
You are now listening to Smart.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the ad.
Prioritize your mental well-being with Kuji Jakalia Wellness Center, a Black woman-owned therapy practice committed to culturally affirming care that understands you. Our licensed therapist Monday through Friday by appointment because your healing should fit your schedule. At Kuji Wellness, we embrace the principle of Kuji Jakalia, meaning self-determination, the power to define, create, and speak for ourselves.
Your healing journey is yours to own, and we're here to support you every step of the way. We also offer individual, child, couple, and family therapy, helping families connect, heal, and thrive together.
Visit us at CoogieWellness.com and book your appointment, because when you heal, the community heals too.
What happened to the boy?
Gourmet Creole is bringing vibrant Haitian flavors to Mattapan. Join their grand opening May 24th at 1210 Blue Hill Avenue. This woman-owned restaurant serves specials like plantain sandwiches, chicken in Creole sauce, and a fried pork so tender it will melt in your mouth. Discover delicious, affordable dishes that bring Haiti's rich traditions to life, with vegan, vegetarian, and halal options available. Now available on Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Check out the menu at Gourmet Creole.
Finally Home is a must-read, step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
Often I hear people talking about how high their electricity bills are. Massachusetts has programs that everyday homeowners pay for, but never look into. Have you ever considered why some homes have panels and others don't? If you have Eversource, National Grid, or Unitil for electricity, you are paying for your neighbors to get panels at no cost. The charges are on the bill. Why not get someone to pay for yours? This program also helps with re-roofing, tree cutting, and electrical upgrades. If you're tired of short-term solutions for a long-term problem, connect with Vicari to find out if your home meets the requirements to upgrade at no cost out of pocket. Save the planet, future-proof your family for power outages, and save tens of thousands of dollars on an otherwise lifelong bill. Mention Spark when you call or text SPARK to 617-833-8940 to get 2 months off your power bill covered if your home gets...
Boston's new home for urban Caribbean music, Spark FM. Spark FM. Playing all your favorite hits from reggae. Spark FM.
When you are gonna see your million, we got to go long, just like the Amazon.
Spark FM.
I know that life is not easy. No say we are fooling, yeah. Walk with the camera like Jesus.
Soca. Hip hop.
Yeah, we on and we going crazy.
R&B.
If they knew you could do damage, you could do damage.
Afrobeats and much more. Spark FM. Spark FM.
I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. I mean, I could all by myself, and maybe you make me better. Yeah.
This Fabulous has managed to stay out of trouble, huh? But remember, he
knocked his girl's
teeth out.
Yeah, and then fought her father.
Yep, her father and her brother. But he's been quiet.
You got to learn. You got to learn how to shut up.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Everybody gather around. We want to hear your opinions. The phone line to call is 617-272-3387. Again, 617-272-3387. Or you can jot it down in the comment section if that is what you need. And where you guys want to go? I'll let you guys choose. You want to go Cassie, Haley Bailey, or Dee Dee, or Tory Lanez? Y'all pick. Go ahead.
Tory Lanez out the way.
Let's get Tory Lanez out the way. So, if you guys do not know what is going on in that situation,
I said we did. There's more Tory Lanez news.
I know. I didn't know there was more Tory Lanez.
No, I mean, well, it's the same thing. I think it's the there's just a lot of controversy around what is really happening. A quick update. You know, the lawyer that be following all these cases, not the lawyer, the journalist that follows all these cases. It was said that Tory Lanez's lawyer came out with a big press conference making all of these accusations that he overheard Kelsey admit to shooting Meg, overheard her
The lawyer
talking.
said this?
No, this is the lawyer for Tory Lanez said that the security guard, that the security, Kelsey security, who was driving the car that night, who disappeared for the whole 5 years that all of this was going on and never said anything without any NDA or anything like that was stopping him from doing anything. He has came out and he has told them that he overheard a conversation with Kelsey saying what happened that night.
Yeah, we talked about that
and
yesterday.
they made a press conference. They did all of that. It came out that he hasn't even filed that in the appeals court yet. So that is another big controversy about it, because if this is such big evidence, how come you haven't filed that in your appeal case? So the
Daystar?
His people. How come they haven't filed that? It has caused great controversy around the atmosphere, because people are now saying that Megan Thee Stallion lied about the whole thing. This never happened. Tory Lanez should be automatically free. They should drop the case immediately. And and then that little piece of information came out. This is this big uproar that they have caused with this information, yet have not filed that at all in the appealing court. So we don't know if it's right. We don't know, like, it's hearsay. It's now hearsay that the lawyer said that the security said that, and it's now hearsay the security said that Kelsey admitted to what was going on, and you didn't want Tory Lanez to suffer anymore.
I'm all confused.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's very stupid. You come up with these big accusations and there's no evidence at all to support any of that. So
he had a trial already.
Yeah, he had a trial.
But there's a reason why he's in jail.
And the burden of doubt was on the prosecutors, and there was no doubt. They convicted him without a doubt.
And there is an appeal process.
There is an appeal process.
Yeah.
And before the lawyers filed the appeal, they have an appeal process out right now.
Yeah.
And now they're randomly coming out with this information, big conference, and has not filed that information inside of the appeals. So that's
I want to see the pictures of the stab wounds.
Me too.
That's all I.
And then and then more, just all of the things around it.
Yeah.
He's been in jail for 2 years. He randomly gets stabbed in jail 14 times. As soon as he's recovered, his lawyer comes out with this random information about the random security guard who randomly came back.
That's how I feel about this case. About that.
Yeah.
When it was sent to me, like, oh look, this is what's developed now, and I was like, yeah, I saw that coming, because that's what they were setting up for when he got stabbed.
Absolutely.
So I don't.
Nobody randomly gets stabbed in prison.
That's what I'm saying. Well, they said that. Well, one person said that. Well, the lawyers are also alluding to the fact that it might have been Megan Thee Stallion's people.
Yeah.
That once they found out where he was,
why? Because we didn't know where he was.
Sent the dude to stab him up.
Didn't we know where he was?
I don't know. I guess not. I thought we knew where he was, and that we knew that he was in a prison. Right.
Yeah. People are going out their way to sound stupid.
That's what I'm saying, and I think it's crazy, because this is like a trifecta. Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez is going through this. Then we have the ongoing case with Diddy.
Well, let's go to DDJ first.
DDJ, he's been accused of, grabbing up Haley Bailey and roughing her up and slamming her face on the steering wheel where she chipped her tooth. Everybody's coming out. DDG, I can't believe she would set him up. She's lying. So she popped out with some receipts about why he was mad, because she's supposedly talking to some other dude and he's mad at her and saying that she's going to look stupid and all kind of stuff. He's had his brother come online and say, why would he do that? And he can't believe what's going on. There's other people like Boosie and everybody else saying that Halle Berry is lying. She has not, and that she's using the public to sway her opinion. She has been granted temporary full legal and physical custody of their son. The Angel singer alleges that the 27-year-old rapper, whose real name is Daryl Dwayne Gransberry Jr., abused her physically and emotionally. Bailey and DDG welcomed their son Halo to in 2023.
Who is he?
No, but
wait, we calling DDG a rapper?
Well, is he a rapper or a streamer?
I thought he was like a streamer.
He's a streamer.
Raps on occasion.
So
what did he ever stream though?
He's streaming every day. Like he's a big streamer. He's like a streamer like Kai Cenat.
Really?
But not as big and not as popular and not as fun and or entertaining.
Yeah.
So he just be streaming. Yeah. In his house.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So this is this is another controversy, and then. We they're saying that she did all of this to sway the public's opinion about DDG when it's been known fact. She hasn't said anything to the public at all. DDG has now streamed all of this and letting people know what's going on step by step. Problems.
I don't think the public cares that much.
They don't.
Yeah, I don't
because it's The Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Oh, that's who that is.
Yeah, The Little Mermaid. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen enough dudes fumble the bag with women,
with great people, with great women,
and not just. I mean, I've seen people fumble the bag with people. Period.
Yeah.
And this sounds like a story I've heard before.
Yeah, I mean, and she has receipts, and she's been keeping the text messages and stuff, and his aggression and whatever, and that's where that is. There's still, it's a public outcry. I think right now it's too much going on for a lot of people, so they're automatically blaming black women for all of this.
I'm going with the girl in this situation because I think his name is stupid.
Yeah, DDG.
I know, because that's literally your initials. You're not even cool.
Nah, you weren't the Little Mermaid, dude.
Right?
Relax.
And now for the biggest news after hearing Cassie's testimony. So Cassie's been. This is day 3 of the Diddy trial. Cassie and
not day 3. This is day 5.
5. Oh, because it started on Monday. A trial of Sean Diddy Combs continues in Manhattan federal court on Friday with Cassie Ventura, her former girlfriend, and the prosecutor's star witness returning to the witness stand for more cross-examination.
So she is the star witness.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The 55-year-old hip-hop mogul is facing charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Federal prosecutors say that for decades, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women to participate in marathon sexual encounters called freak-offs and used his business empire along with guns, kidnapping, and arson to conceal his crimes. The defense team on Thursday presented hundreds of text messages between Ventura and Combs from throughout their relationship in an attempt to show that Ventura was consensual participant in the freak-offs, sometimes even planning them herself. During 3 days of direct questioning, Ventura told the court her more than decade-long relationship with Combs was frequently marked by violence and physical abuse, describing in detail the drug-fueled freak-offs that would take days to recover from. Jurors were also shown 2016 surveillance video of Combs hitting, kicking, and dragging Ventura in the hallway of a Los Angeles hotel. Combs has pleaded not guilty. If convicted, he could face life in prison. He's being held without bail in a Brooklyn jail. So that is the latest development. There are a lot of details there in these text messages in which they're revealing, like she's responding with excitement. She's responding with enthusiasm and consent and all of these things.
Yeah, I think one of them was like, "I need a freak off real bad."
Yeah,
or something like that.
Or are you into a freak off? And she was like, "Yeah, like those types of things." Or I think I need sex or something. I don't.
And calling them daddy and things like that.
Yeah. And I guess I understand that, and I understand how it could look, but as a text messenger, I can say whatever the hell I want in a text message. It don't mean that that's how I feel.
I mean, maybe it is, but what if it is the way you felt at the time?
And at the time, maybe it is what I felt. I didn't sign up for getting punched in the face.
I saw something yesterday that said two things can be true. She can be a nasty freak and have gotten abused.
And be a victim.
Right, and be a victim. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that when I sign up to be a freak, I'm signing up to be dragged across the floor.
I mean, that's the biggest issue, right? Like, this whole thing started with him. Like,
but that's different.
Right?
That's abuse separate apart from the actual freak offs. But I feel like she was clearly she was content with some of these freak offs.
I don't say content. I think that she explained it by if she had said no, she would have got her ass beat. So she was
forced to consent under duress.
Yeah, and some of the text messages, she was the one that was putting everything and organizing everything.
I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a part of my brain was like, these freak offs did look a little. I mean, they look fun. Listen. I think that at one point, I wouldn't, but I could see Diddy's a wild man. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think that at one point, she might have consented to it. I mean, she might have been excited about it.
Consented under duress.
I don't even know if she consent. Like, I think that in the beginning, when she was young and passionate and excitable,
young and dumb and full of cum.
I think she might have been, a little excited about, being a part of Diddy's whatever harem. But I think that throughout the years, I think that it became too much, and she didn't want it anymore.
That's the lesson I feel like men of a certain age should take from this, right? Like, and this is not to victim blame or whatever, right? Like, what's the football man?
Shannon Sharp
and Diddy, right? Like, one, mess with women closer to your age.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because someone that's 19 years old, by the time she's 25 or whatever, how long this relationship's been going on, she's going to be 10 different people.
Fresh Jan, stop it. Go ahead.
She's going to be like 10 different people. She's going to grow into the woman she's going to become. And there's no saying that she's going to still like the freaky stuff that you started with.
Yeah.
Right? And then two, Diddy, you can hire people that sell these services.
Yeah.
You don't got to coerce anybody. You got enough money to go to Vegas, find yourself a freak 45-year-old, and do what you got to do, bro. This is a cell phone, man.
Christian, that's not true. Once you say yes, just because you say yes in the beginning does not mean that you can't go back and say no after. So we got to make that very, very plain. Even if I'm oh baby, I want you right now.
So
come to my house. Do it. He's in jail for sex trafficking, and I don't even think they need all this domestic violence.
Well, it started with it is a domestic.
There is two charges that directly pertain to her, and there's two charges that directly pertain to the Jane Doe.
There's 5 charges. There's 5 and 5 complete.
Yeah.
One of them is that he was trafficking. Means you're taking somebody from one place, crossing state lines, and continuing on what you were doing and paying for it, right?
But I think
what that means?
The sex trafficking, and this is why it's complicated, because I feel like they add on the sex trafficking sometimes to give them an easier case in prosecuting people. Like, sometimes I feel like they're a little heavy-handed with the sex trafficking charges. But again, this all started with Diddy beating this girl's face in front of an elevator, in front of a camera. Like, if that never happened, he wouldn't be in this situation, right? Like,
the thing is about that is that's the only video we got to see.
Yeah.
So imagine what he does when he's on his own property, in his own places, doing his own thing with no cameras, or he has access to the cameras.
We found out what he does without the
So that's what I'm saying. Like, all of these things are happening, and we saw that one video of the abuse.
Yeah.
But we ain't seen none of the videos of the abuse.
I don't think I want to see.
They said that there are text messages, like we heard about these text messages with Cassie saying whatever she was saying about the freak offs, of course, to discredit her previous testimony. But they said that there's also a whole bunch of text messages where she is begging other people to please help her get away from him, and nobody has done anything. There's tons of text messages that support that. This is just so crazy. LaWanda says the freak off stuff is to distract him, to discredit him, and to distract us. But I think that in what we read on Monday when we were first talking about what the charges were for the case, there were two specific charges that applied to Cassie, two specific ones that apply to this other girl. It's all so crazy. Fresh Jan, I hope that you're joking, and I feel like you're not. But I think that when you have to understand that even if you are in the midst and somebody is inside of you, to be graphic, and you say, no, I don't want this anymore, and they continue, that is rape.
It's a conspiracy. Diddy was trying to buy Pornhub, and sorry.
So I'm trying to get what he was charged with racketeering. Why is the government charging Diddy with racketeering? Isn't that a charge usually used in a mob and other organized crime?
So it is. So it's a racketeering conspiracy because he had an organization involved in these crimes.
They say prosecutors are arguing Combs' case alleged that he used his business empire to fuel and conceal his criminal activities, and that he used his money, power, influence, and employees to criminal ends.
A lot of people say this is like the first one-man RICO of all time, but it's not. I mean, if depending on how this trial goes, there's probably going to be a lot more people.
I was going to say, is it just one man, or is this just the first man?
It's just the first. He's the main guy.
Yeah.
But I know at first I'm like, yo, why they? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, taking away the actual physical, like the physical abuse that we actually saw.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And I keep on forgetting about that. But when I do forget about that, I'm like, yo, they're really just really messing with this dude because he's a freak. Even like the gay stuff people were talking about, I'm like, yo, maybe they're trying to discredit him. I was thinking the same way, but then I keep on falling back to the fact that we have video proof of him physically abusing her outside of the freak offs, right? And then when you look at the testimony, one thread that kind of like goes throughout the whole testimony of this thing is that she was drugged up, right?
He was super drugged up. He
had her drugged up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you and it wasn't just weed. She doing stuff. She said she was in a G-hole.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
I don't know what that is.
Right? And
what is a G-hole?
A glory hole.
I don't know. Listen.
Oh, a glory hole. You know when you just randomly stick your thing in something.
That's what the glory hole is.
But I think it was like GHB or something like that. Some
oh my God.
Some type of drug. And Diddy was facilitating that, and he had a lot of power. Like, I'm imagining my daughter, right, at 19 years old.
Take her out of it.
Don't
you imagine her?
Listen, I'll be in jail, right? But I'm just thinking about, or even when I was 19, dealing with other 19-year-old women, like, we didn't know anything. If some rich person came to one of us, if a rich woman came to me, and like, I got millions of dollars, I just got to do a little freaky stuff to you, I probably would be down with it, and by the time I'm 29, I would regret everything I did.
So there was this thing that I posted the other day, and it said Diddy's daughters are currently 18 and 19 years old.
And you see them, they look like they look like babies.
And Cassie was 19 when she started to date Diddy.
And he was 37.
And he was 37.
Yeah.
And so for me,
that's crazy to me.
For me, regardless of whether she consented or not, I don't think a 19-year-old should be consented to be doing anything with a 37-year-old. And it's technically legal, but I feel like it's statutory rape too. And I don't feel like at a 19-year-old, or let's just put Diddy's daughters in this place, I don't think that Diddy, even if his daughters said, I want this to happen, that you would be okay with that. You know, like,
and again, that's why I said, and not to say like older women should be treated disrespectfully or whatever.
Yeah,
but at the same time, but if you're both around the same age and you're older and you've had experiences and you're both kind of bored with normal sex or whatever, you got your kinks, do that. But like you said before, like when I look, like I know 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds, right, in my family and life, and they're kids. Like literally, like it's not illegal. Like I'm not judging somebody saying that you should go to jail. But I'm looking at you sideways. I'm giving you a little, I
went to the clinic with my mom the other day, and this lady came in with this young man.
Yeah.
And they were going to the pediatric clinic.
Yeah.
He was 20 years old, and his mom was with him in the clinic at 20 years old because she was like, last time they called him about his appointment, he forgot about it and didn't know. So this time I told him to call me, and that's why we're here, so that he can go to his clinic. He's 20 years old, and his mother is still going with him to his clinical appointments.
He's a boy too, though.
That's what I'm saying, though. Regardless of whether
Even
he's a
girl,
boy
yeah.
or not, he's a baby.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of 19-year-olds. I know a lot of moms on Facebook that are literally feel like their big 19 and 20-year-olds are babies. Like are babies. So would you want your baby, even at 19, it's legal, but your child, your child ain't right.
Yeah.
Your child shouldn't be engaging in no freak-offs.
Can't even wipe their butts properly.
Exactly.
That's horrible.
Exactly. They still not bathing.
Yeah, that's what I'm judging Diddy on.
28-year-old boy yesterday gonna tell me don't discount him because of his age. Honey.
I mean, 28 is grown, though.
I'm 48.
I mean, but 28. I feel like
he's a man.
He's
no, he's not. His frontal lobe is closed.
Ain't no 48-year-old woman gonna be with my son when he's 28.
By 28, you should already start contributing to your 401k.
Not my baby.
You about to be 30 years old. You a whole man.
Yeah. No.
But you see that though.
Yeah, no.
That's your baby.
Oh,
and no
yeah.
matter when you are, that's your baby. And you don't want him knocking nobody else out, and you don't want him knocking.
Absolutely
you don't want
not.
nobody knocking him out.
Who is Cassie's parents?
They said that her mom knows. Well, not her mom. One time, like towards the end, she finally started telling her mom what was going, but she would overall lie to everybody about what she was doing.
What's her nationality?
Venezuelan, probably.
She half black and Filipino?
Probably.
What
like you think, Tristan? You've been very quiet during this whole conversation.
I don't know what it is. I stay out of this thing. This Diddy stuff is too much.
Just to tell me you could pee on all the 28 and older people you know. If you 28 and older.
I don't.
That's y'all old fool boys. I remember y'all used to be like after 12 is lunch.
Who said that?
No, but wait, listen. There's no excuse for that.
Cassie's
but that was
African-American,
people would say
Mexican.
that normally.
The Mexican.
West Indian, and her father's Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother is African American, Mexican, and West Indian descent.
Oh wow!
And her father's Filipino. She's all of that.
I wonder she's so
She's
pretty.
Coblinasian.
No, but you're right though. Like, and I think at that time too, that was kind of that period of before people started getting woke.
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of things we wouldn't accept today. People were doing normally back then too.
Yeah.
So
that's very true too. I never want to believe that physical abuse is normal.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, well, if he, if being a freak is not a whatever. I think that what comes with it, you can be a freak, but if you drugging somebody and they don't know what's going on, if you drugging somebody and you beating their butt, if you drugging somebody and you have their career hanging along the lines and you're telling them that you're gonna release their music, you never release their music, I don't know. I don't.
Being a freak is not the crime here.
Yeah,
that's not the crime. I don't think that anybody thinks that's what. Well, I mean, there are a lot of people who.
I mean, there's a crime, and then there's kind of like a moral, like, aspect to it.
Yeah.
Again, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you're drugging up a 19-year-old to manhandle her.
Did that
right?
start when she was 19?
Yeah.
It
They
did?
started dating when she was 19.
No, but I mean, the
they started
drugging and all
having
that
sex.
stuff.
They started actually having sex around the time that she was 21. I heard.
Yeah, but he introduced her to oral sex?
He introduced her to oral sex and to drugs. So from then, I don't know about the oral sex part, maybe the drugs, but from then, things started to get crazy once they started their real relationship for all those years.
And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. There's more than a few women that are vulnerable, that have been sheltered, that don't know much about their bodies or sex at that age.
That's what she said. She said that she was very, very sexually inexperienced. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, a 40-year-old should
I
not
don't
be
believe that.
teaching.
She was already in a relationship when she met Diddy. She was with Ryan Leslie. I doubt it.
Yeah, Ryan Leslie look kind of corny though.
I doubt that they was in a relationship with
They
him.
weren't having no freak
sex.
offs with Ryan Leslie.
He probably was just having normal sex.
I would judge her for having a freak off.
I think that's what it was. I think they were just having missionary sex and having a good time. And then when she got him,
I mean, they could have been doing a little more than missionary sex.
but she said he introduced her to oral sex. So they was only.
So Ryan Leslie wasn't.
Ain't Ryan Leslie gay? No, he's not.
The views of Hot Sauce.
The views that was not. That's not even allegedly. I was just being an asshole. Sorry. In the meantime, he has gotten a lot. Diddy has gotten a lot of support from different people, like Boosie, Lil Boosie.
Well, Boosie got his back.
Lil Boosie said that he's a freak, and Lil Boosie said that's fine.
Yeah.
But we also know that Lil Boosie was having his son have sex with a prostitute at 13 years old. So I don't really take what Boosie say as whatchamacallit. But somebody else, Chris Brown.
Oh boy.
Chris Brown has made a statement that when he wasn't nobody and when he was going through his stuff with Rihanna, Diddy looked out for him and blah, blah, blah. Coincidentally, Chris Brown just got arrested.
Didn't Chris Brown speak out on supported Tory Lanez this week too?
He did. He said something about, I believe in my heart that Chris Brown should STF you very hard.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to shut up and you've got to mind your business. You can be of support of these people and just not say anything because Chris Brown, you're still not out the water from your transgressions.
Yeah. Chris Brown has gotten a chance that a lot of men in his position have not gotten.
Yeah.
And if I was him, I'd just be like, you know what?
I ain't gonna lie. I'd give Chris Brown a chance to put me in some position.
You want to go into his news?
Yeah, go into the news, yes.
All right, so here's some brand new news on Chris Brown.
I just want Chris Brown.
To a developing story, an American singer Chris Brown has been charged in the UK over an alleged glassing attack at a London nightclub more than 2 years ago. The R&B artist was arrested at a hotel in Manchester and is expected to face court today. US correspondent Rob Scott has the details.
What is her accent?
Chris Brown was arrested by British police after they were reportedly tipped off by local media that he'd just flown into the country on a private plane. The 36-year-old singer was taken into custody at a 5-star hotel in Manchester and charged with grievous bodily harm with intent. Now, these charges stem from an incident that allegedly happened back in February 2023 at London's Tape nightclub, where it's alleged he hit music producer Abe Dior over the head with a tequila bottle in what Dior claims was an unprovoked attack. The producer says Brown then punched and kicked him as he lay on the floor. He's since filed a £12 million lawsuit against the musician, alleging he was left with severe and lasting injuries.
Wow.
12 million pounds. That's heavy.
12 million.
12 million pounds.
Of what, drugs?
No, that's how much the lawsuit is.
Oh, wow.
British dollars.
That's a lot.
That is $15 million. It's basically $16 million in US.
I blame y'all.
What?
Y'all got Chris Brown think he can do whatever he wants.
No, you know, Chris Brown, again, some people just don't know. Chris Brown always should have had some type of handler, PR agent. They'd be like, hey, you just don't tweet. Don't say anything.
Chris Brown got light skin luck.
I think he's been cursed by looking too good. So he can do stuff and women will always forgive him, which will get him to do more stupidness.
I don't even think that Chris Brown looks that amazing. You know, like not that amazing.
I mean, I don't think so either, but
no. You know, like Chris Brown, he's fine, but I don't think that Chris Brown is like Tyler Ripley.
I don't even know who that is.
He's fine. That's all you gotta know.
I don't know who that is.
So I'm trying to figure out social media roast Lil Scrappy over comment about men getting no support amid Haley Bailey and DDG drama. Sorry, that was a part of that. So people like Scrappy.
Lil Scrappy.
Who gets a lot of airtime. And I don't like that.
Boozy. Like, they're just two people that like. Shut up! Why do we know what y'all said?
I like Boozy. I disagree with Boozy 99.8% of the time.
99.9%.
But I want him to be my uncle.
He's that uncle that you only have to the cookout, and you be like, "Oh damn, Uncle Boozy here. We got to."
They go Uncle again.
let's get ready to leave. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Speaking of Chris Brown, Rihanna has dropped new music.
Yes,
what?
For the Smurfs
soundtrack called "Friend of Mine."
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely playing games.
I mean, she's super pregnant, and because
we demand an album.
We thought that she told us that she was gonna come out with the damn whatchamacallit. And she hasn't come out with it yet, and that's what makes me mad.
She got some videos about to drop.
No, she didn't. She said being pregnant is going to keep her from making videos, maybe, but it's not going to stop her from singing. That's what
she's too happy, yo. We need ASAP Rocky to like forget a Valentine's Day or something.
He's not though, because he is enamored.
And that's what we like. We like that type of, that type of energy.
I love it. I love it, but I would like some Rihanna music. I mean, I would like.
Well,
that.
y'all better-
Do I want Rihanna music? Do I want Rihanna?
Were you a big Rihanna fan?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, once
Rihanna,
once Rihanna stopped making music regularly, we got Trump as president. That's all I'm saying. Put two and two together.
That's true. You're right.
Anyways, we are coming. We are at the end of the show because we got to do some fun things with some little kids from Up Academy. There's a lot of them here. So we'll be having some good times with them and teaching them. They are babies.
Those are babies.
Those are little babies.
One of them is not.
So we got to make sure that we have some fun coming up next. All the rest of the there's no other celebrity news except for those people that we talked about just now. Nobody wants to say anything about anybody else. Even Karen Reed can't even get no life.
Blue Ivy is in the news for doing amazing during the tour. Everybody keeps commenting on how she's doing so well on this tour.
She's excellent. She looks like a professional.
How old is she?
13.
I love the Carters. I love that little family.
So I remember she is 7 months older than CK.
I love that.
She's very mature.
Very, very mature. Every time I see her, I'm like, are you
Very
sure you're 13?
Yeah. She looks more 17ish than she appears more 17ish. But I think that her parents are doing a good job with her, and I think that she's learning a lot of really, really good values. I saw some of the Blue Ivy's net worth is what, 76 million?
Yes, honey.
Yo, shout out to the celebrities. I've noticed a lot of celebrities like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, even like Wiz Khalifa and his kid, Jay-Z, Beyonce and their family. Like I feel like LeBron James and his freaking superhero boys. Like these celebrities, I feel like they're doing
Everybody but Kanye.
Let's not get into it. Jeez.
Anyhow,
you didn't have to ruin it.
With that said, people, it is the weekend. It is Friday. There are lots of things to do this weekend. Are you guys planning any plans? Anything going on? Nothing.
And we going to.
I might go to the. What I say tomorrow?
Where?
What's it on the boat? The ferry.
Oh yes,
the free island.
Is it the free ferries?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still gonna try to get to the flea market.
You got to go out there before 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what they said at 8 o'clock. It's first come first serve. The free ferries over to Spectacle Island.
What do people do at Spectacle Island?
There's a bunch of things. There's a food and frolic.
I love it. Why don't we go?
Yeah, you have to be. So it's free, but you have to be out there at 8 o'clock in order to get the free thing before 8, right? Because it starts at 8. Also, there's the Harvard Square Block Party or the Cambridge Block Party is happening tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'm going to that. I want to see that. That's going to be fun.
There were some other things that I can't think of, but there's a lot of things. No, it's supposed to be raining.
Also raining.
Well, only 40 and 50% chance of rain for the next 2 days, and I think for a little bit, so it shouldn't be too crazy.
Oh, okay.
So y'all should go out and have a good time.
And whatever y'all doing, call me up, hit me up, and let me know what y'all doing because I can do it too.
With that said, people, thank you guys for joining us for another week of Saucy and Friends in the Morning. We got lots of shows and all kinds of stuff coming up for you guys this weekend. So make sure you keep it lock in with us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
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 You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
You are now listening to Spark.